It's veteran lightweight King Green. It's been a minute, but you're back on Fight Week. You're on a pay-per-view. You're opening it up. I mean, talk to me about how it feels at this point in your career to be on a big card like this.
If I'm going to be honest, bro, and I've always been honest with you, it's just another fight. It's just another knock in the belt. And you know what I mean? Another notch in the belt.
Yeah, you've had plenty of it, man. 12 years in the UFC, 17 in the game, but I honestly feel like your popularity is by far higher than it's ever been. So I'm curious if you see that and how that makes you feel. Like, do you think it's weird that it took so long for people to catch on to who you are? Are you appreciative of it? Are you frustrated by it? How's it feel for it to take all this for people to realize who you are?
I don't know, bro. I feel like I got a bit of all those things you just said, you know, a little bit of everything, you know. Like, damn. I was telling the homies that shit earlier, like, they just start catching me all late. I'm like, oh, man, I'm kidding. No, now, like, you know, I was doing this, like, from the beginning I was doing this, you know, and a lot of people didn't like it at the time, you know. A lot of people was like, oh, you're a big mouth, or, oh, you were doing this, you know. And so I just stuck true to what I do and try not to, who cares about the noise? And I really don't care, you know. I'm just doing me. I didn't even know how popular I am, bro. Be honest, I just kind of just mind my business.
Do you feel that at all, though? Do you feel like you get more respect now than maybe you have in years past?
A little bit in some ways. In other ways, I feel like I'm keep it real, because especially with you, John.
Yes, sir.
You know, I know you, and
Yes,
we know
sir.
each other for years. We've seen each other.
Long time.
I'm just a nigga, bro. Can I say that?
You can.
Yeah, I'm just a nigga, you know? And don't nobody really give a fuck about a nigga, you know? It's just what it is. It's just life. It's just what it is. And you can't bullshit or complain or feel away. Whatever you're getting, you better be thankful for what you get, you know?
Is it hard to operate like that and not have a chip on your shoulder, not to feel like, come on?
I don't know about it. I don't know. I just doing it, brother. You like, I never really get to analyze my feelings on how this is supposed to. It's just like, it can be frustrating at times, you know, but other times it's just like, hey, this way I've always seen life be. So I'm just used to it, you know. Most people don't give a fuck about nobody, you know, but themselves. So why would they give a fuck about me, you know?
Well, let's talk about things that make you entertaining, right? Your fighting style, one of the most unique in the game, hands down, shoulder rolls, talking the whole time. I'm curious, did you like develop that style trying to be entertaining? Because there's no way a coach told you this is the right way to fight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Did you develop that trying to be entertaining, or was it just natural and you found out, oh, people kind of like this?
No, I was trying to create something that was my own, you know? Everybody's so focused on the title. Everybody's so focused that if you're not a champ, you're not anything. And I just focused on what I could do, because I understand I'm a nigga. I understand where I'm at, you know, and how this world works, and this system and the way things are played. And I've been around here for 12 years. I know what's up. I pay attention. I'm not stupid. And so I just try to make my own light somewhere. And from watching little karate movies and stuff like that, I'm like, hey, that's kind of interesting. I want to be like those guys, but that's fake, you know? So how could I make that look real? And, you know, and so I started playing with these things, and I put my hands down and just started kind of like, you know, I started watching certain things. I'm like, let me try to do it like this, you know? I want to have my own thing, bro. You want to have your own swag, your own style, my own wave, you know? I'm not trying to do nothing like nobody else. I'm not trying to be nobody else. I'm just doing me.
You've accomplished that, man. The other thing I love, and it may be a silly thing, but I tell people all the time, the best entrance into the octagon in UFC history, right? Do you remember when you first started doing that and what inspired? I mean, is it just a straight up forward roll from the warm-up mats, or was there more to it?
I don't fucking know how I came up with that. I'll keep it real. I don't remember how or what. I don't know where that came from. I can't remember. I don't know where. Something like, this would be a good idea to do that shit. And trust me, I'm getting old. There's some times where I fucked it up. You know, I'm like, hey, I probably shouldn't do this no more. You know, I probably shouldn't do this no more. You know, but I still be like, man, everybody, it's dope. It's everybody.
It is.
I'm gonna get the crowd into it. You know, I'm here to entertain.
I love it, man. Well, listen, you know, you said that you had to deal with some hate and maybe some disrespect, but I do feel like people are starting to call you an inspiration as well, and I know you got to feel that. So does that mean something to you? Because I know you kind of always wanted to be an inspiration, and I feel like people are finally saying that to you, and I see it in the public.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You said, you let me know where you see it at and point it out, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Because be honest, like, I don't know, maybe because I'm behind the eyes, you know, I'm not in the rooms, but for the most part, I just kind of just mind my own business, bro. I don't really be in nobody's business, or like I don't read stuff like that. For the most part, you know, like even my own social media, I'll post something. I'm not reading the comments, and I'm not worried about those things. Like I'm in real life, you know. That's a fake life, or what people say online, that's fake, you know? And you don't know if those people are on your side or for you or really understand you or not. So I really don't pay attention. I just pay attention to what I can control. It's the things I can grab, touch, and move, you know?
How do you feel you're doing in those?
Feel. You keep using that word, feel.
You don't even let yourself think.
Man, I had a rapper friend. He was just telling me, like, man, we lived a great life. And I looked at him, I said, listen, you lived a great life, because he's had the mansions in Hollywood and shit like that, you know, the Phantoms and all that different stuff. And I was like, bro, for the most part, I've always had to grind. And when I started getting to a point where I felt like I was getting some success and I was getting some money and stuff like that, a baby comes. And now I'm worried, and I got to create some new legacy, some new money to sit back for that kid, you know? And then, here comes another baby. And so it's like, just when I started setting, I also have these goals that I got to accomplish these things. So I really don't have time to analyze anything.
Well, you got to fight this weekend. Mauricio Rufy. On paper, it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. It's a guy that's kind of all the rage. He's new to the UFC. Again, you've been doing it for 12 years. So what's it like when they offer you a guy like that that hasn't put the time in that you have? I mean, do you feel disrespected or offended, or do you get excited by some fresh blood?
I'm going to tell you just you, John. I ain't tell nobody else. I ain't tell nobody else this shit. I'm a nigga, bro. I don't give a fuck, and they don't give a fuck. It's just what comes to me. I have to take what I take, you know? I just take what they give me. This is what they're giving me. And I'm an opportunist. I take every opportunity. When I had to fight Islam on 10 days' notice, after I just fought a dude, I fought Nazareth, positive, whatever guy. He's been winning, you know? I just fought him, and then I jump in another fight. I just take what they give me, you know? And I hope that this work will pay off, where one day I can sit back and I don't have to worry about the financial troubles. I don't have to worry about some of the things that a lot of people have to go through. But that's what I'm really focused on.
Do you think that'll happen by what you accomplish in the cage? Like, I mean, do you want to keep fighting that long that you can keep stacking paper, or is it about creating opportunities outside of the sport?
Creating opportunities outside the sport, but it's your main breadwinner. You got to keep that thing going. So I plan on still doing more fights, you know. As long as I'm entertaining, as long as I'm still doing what I need to do, you know. I think people kind of got a bad taste from the Patty fight, you know. And I had just fucking the shittiest things that possibly happened. I had a baby during the camp. It was a lot, you know. I've taken a lot of stuff, and I don't tell nobody or deal with it, you know. But it's a lot of stuff that just goes on, and you got to put them on your shoulders, and you got to still go to war, you know. It doesn't matter.
Do you think, like, I honestly think that's probably the hardest challenge that fans probably don't realize. You know what I mean? It's not about everything that happens in the gym or everything that happens in the cage. It's all of life that happens outside of what's going on that makes it so hard to do all that other stuff.
Bro, I got 3 baby mamas, you know what I mean? 1 black, 1 white, 1 Mexican. And they take turns beating up on me, and everything's always my fault, you know, why this kid and that kid does this or has this problem. It's all my fault, you know. And so those are big shoulders you got to wear a lot of stuff on, you know. Not to mention my kids and what they have their own dreams and aspirations, and why dad can't and why he isn't here, and, you know. And so it's a lot, bro.
Do you still have love for the sport, though, when you're competing especially?
Love for the sport. Interesting question. Love for the sport. I don't know if I ever got to look at it like that. Like, I'm just doing my job. I'm a contract killer, bro. I just got to do my work. It's just work, you know. Do you have love for your job, or is it just work? Some days it's both, right?
Exactly.
You know, when it's good, it's good.
Yeah.
But when it's work.
Right.
You know, and so it's the goods and the bads. You know. Do I have love for it? It's a love-hate thing, maybe. You know.
That makes sense. Well, I think this is going to be a great fight. I mean, do you take the time to break it down? And I feel like every fight you're in is fun, but do you feel like on paper this is going to be a fun fight the way your two styles come together?
Yeah. Hopefully we can get us a fight at night, get a good payday. That's what I'm aiming at. Is, hey, make sure he's a good partner, and let's go out there and let's go for it, you know? Let's go for it, because that's what I'm trying to get. I got Gaethje to fucking battle with, you know? We look at each other like, oh, you better not get it. I'm going to try to get it, you know? And so me and him are looking at battling for that fucking fight of the night.
I love it, man. Well, listen, the 27th UFC walk on Saturday, man. That's putting some numbers up there. What's still driving? I mean, how far do you see this thing going? I mean, are you thinking about when it's over? You said as long as you're entertaining, you're certainly entertaining out there. Do you think about how far this can keep going?
Those things cross your mind for a second, you know. Getting older and this is a young man's sport, but at the same time, the other thing is bug me more is the feeling of, hey, your money could run out. Hey, the feeling of you wouldn't have enough, you know, the feeling of you got to call somebody and ask somebody for something, for help, you know. Those things worry me more, you know. So, and then my endeavors, you know, like I have 27 chickens that I take care of, you know, and making sure that I'm trying to build this farm for my, you know, so that I can get more self-reliant, you know. I have my own meat, I have my own eggs, I have my own stuff, so I really don't need people like that, you know. So those things are more important, so I'll keep working until at least get those things done, you know.
King Green running a farm. I never would have thought about that.
Yeah, Bryce Mitchell put me on it.
No way.
Yeah, Bryce will tell me shit, you know. I'm like, man, Bryce, you on to something. Let me try this shit out. So I want to start slow, and like I shot a pig and I killed it and cut it open, and I was like, I don't know if I want to do pigs. Like they are messy animals. So chickens, like, oh, it's a little more easier. I can deal with chickens. I like eggs. I love eggs. So it's kind of cool. And I'm like, now I'm gonna try beef and get a couple cows slowly, you know.
That's awesome, man. Well, listen, I appreciate it always. You keep it real as always. I'm looking forward to this fight. What's the perfect scenario for you? I mean, is it go out there, throw one punch, you're done, you go home? Or is it go out there and put on a war and hear that T-Mobile crowd go crazy and chanting your name? Like, what's best for you?
Fight of the night. I don't care which way it comes. As long as it's fight of the night. I'm all about the paydays. And I'm going to do whatever I got to do to get the goddamn payday.